co-host of the What's Good podcast, tuning in from somewhere in the metaverse. It is Mathieu St. Germain.
Thanks, Rico. Hi, all. Happy Monday. So my story comes out of Santa Barbara from a local website, edhat.com, and it's the DA's FOLLY. Why Santa Barbara SUPES sweetheart deal for pot growers is failing and stinks to high heaven. Tax collections from pot, hailed as a financial salvation by politicians who recklessly transformed Santa Barbara into the undisputed outdoor autoflower boof cannabis cultivation capital of California, are drying up like desiccated weed plants in a drought. Santa Barbara is the number one county in California for active cannabis cultivation licenses, with 22% of the total, Burns reported. The large number of licenses is a reflection of the sheer size of the industry here. 1,575 acres of grows, primarily in the North County, and another 158 acres of greenhouses in the Carpinteria Valley. This achievement for our county has been accomplished despite Santa Barbara constituting a mere 1.6% of California's 163,696 square miles, almost entirely by the raw power politics and special interest associations wielded by Supervisor Das Williams and board colleague Steve Livigno. As the grand jury has chronicled in depth and in detail, the pair crafted the pot ordinance largely behind closed doors, in close consultation with high-priced grower lobbyists, and in breathtaking disregard for long-established local planning processes and norms, for the primary purpose of bulldozing a vast new industry into the county, heedless of the impact on neighbors and existing businesses, and for the benefit of political sponsors, campaign contributors, and personal pals. On it, Williams famously, swiftly, and obediently responded to Uber grower Graham Farrar, who requested a pro-industry fix during the drafting of a local pot law, two words that memorably capture the spirit and sensibility of the deliberations behind the ordinance. The cannabis regulations have triggered nearly 5 years and counting of political, legal, and economic conflict and controversy in the county. While Boss Das and Wingman Steve have belittled, bullied, and insulted opponents, insisting that their great vision offsets any pain, suffering, or inconvenience that the community might endure because of the pot of gold at the end of their conjured rainbow. While other county revenue sources, including property, sales, and hotel bed taxes, are growing, cannabis tax revenues for fiscal year 22-23 are now projected to be just over one-third of the $16.3 million that was budgeted last June. It's clear that implications and complexities of the cannabis policy and politics behind the slump, which the two supervisors tried to spin with phony claims of how their cannabis program is all that stands between us and the shuttering of libraries, not to mention the enkindling of the atmosphere and a human extinction event. As a political matter, the most intriguing aspect of her story is the emergence of newly elected supervisor Laura Capps as the first board member to raise substantive, serious, and skeptical questions about cannabis policy since the departure of former supervisor Janet Wolf after the 2018 election. This revenue update is a wake-up call for changes, Capps said at a budget hearing this week. We should take a look at how to do things better. To the surprise of no one amongst the cognoscenti and other hacks of the political class, Capps' straightforward questions and rather innocuous comment immediately drew a crossfire display of huffy, toxic masculinity from Williams and Livigno, whose bully boy partnership brooks no criticism of their grand project. And no fair mentioning the emperor wears no clothes either. This is Mathieu St. Germain for the High at 9 News on a Monday. What do you guys think about this one?